What's going on, guys? It's Nick here, back with the video. Today we're going over 5 running backs being drafted outside the top 10 rounds of fantasy that I think have significant upside this season, given their ADPs. First up, we have Bhayshul Tuten, composite ADP of 130th overall. For composite here, I'm talking about a combination of actual drafts and industry rankings, because right now we don't have just pure ADP data to go off. So composite ADP 130 for Bhayshul Tuten. I have him at 112 overall. That is the mid-10th round. Now, this situation is a little bit more complex than average, and I do think we're going to learn a lot more once camps open up this summer. But if we wait that long to gain exposure to Tuten, then he's one of the players that I could see his ADP getting as high as round 5 if really things just like break his way this summer. So I'm loading up on him now before that happens. So why do I think he has a chance that like his ADP could get that high, even without an injury? Like even if ETN does not get injured, there is a possibility that Tuten just gets into round 5 by ADP. For starters, the regime has no loyalty to Travis Etienne. They didn't draft him. They didn't sign him. He's in the final year of his rookie contract. It's unlikely they keep him next season. I know Liam Cohen has been adamant that they like Etienne, that he's done everything right, that they're definitely not trading him. What is he supposed to say? Right? Like, what is he going to come out and be like, yeah, you guys are right. Like, we hate this kid. We're hoping someone sends us a low ball offer. Like, of course he's going to stand behind his player, especially at this point in the offseason. There's literally no reason to bash on a player this early. Even players we know are bad are getting hype at this point in the offseason. But let's not pretend that there like isn't a reason that they went out and drafted Bhayshul Tuten. Etienne has just not been very good among 46 qualified running backs with at least 100 rush attempts last season. Etienne ranked 27th in explosiveness, 41st in yards per carry, 45th in missed tackles forced per attempt. Those were supposed to be his calling card coming out of college. Like he was supposed to be an explosive, elusive running back that is far from what he is right now. Even if you want to go back to 2023, you're just going to see less explosiveness. He's going to be just as inefficient on the ground. So not only do I think that, there's a strong possibility the Jaguars look at their backfield and they're like, listen, someone will give us something for Travis Etienne. Like we have Bixby, we have Tuten. We don't need all 3 of these running backs. There is a possibility they trade him away, but I also think there's a possibility that Tuten just overtakes Etienne as their lead back, even if they can't get a deal done. Graham Barfield over at Fantasy Points does a really good job charting yards created for running back prospects. Yards created is like, well, I don't want to say the best, but like one of the better metrics we have in evaluating running back prospects because it does a good job of isolating out offensive line play. It's not perfect, and there are some things I wish he would change about it, but it does as good of a job as we basically have at saying, okay, irrespective of offensive line play, some guys are running behind offensive lines and on offenses that are just so good. It's not that they're creating much on their own. It's just that any running back could be good in that system. It does a good job of isolating that. Tuten is the 3rd best running back by that metric in this year's class. And he also ranks 2nd in missed tackles forced per attempt. He also crushes Travis Etienne as a prospect by both metrics. He is a significantly better pass protector than Travis Etienne and significantly more explosive. Like look at his profile as a player. 98th percentile speed score, 97th percentile burst score. Quite literally, the only concern I have with Tuten is the fumbling issue. He fumbled a lot in college. He fumbled to open camp. Like that is a problem. Coaches do not play you when you fumble, but at least one silver lining. I mean, Travis Etienne fumbled 5 times in his rookie season, and he still racked up 255 touches. It's a huge risk. If you put the ball on the ground, you cause turnovers as a running back. Even if you are pretty good, there are coaching staffs that will not play you. But we have also seen sometimes coaching staffs just like a guy. They're like, listen, I know you're at risk of fumbling, but we want to play you, want to give you touches. That's what happened to Etienne as a rookie. If they want him to be their guy, he's going to be their guy. And just given how much upside this offense has, Tuten could easily be someone you're starting every single week at running back 2, even without an injury at a late 11th round ADP. That is a steal. Second running back we go over today is Jaydon Blue, composite ADP of 148th overall. That's the 4th pick in round 13. I have him 124th overall. That is the mid 11th round. Jumping back into yards created, he ranks 8th in this class. He's 6th best in missed tackles forced per attempt, while being top 5 as a pass protector. His main competition is going to be Javonte Williams, who's averaged 3.6 and 3.7 yards per carry over the last 2 seasons, has ranked well below average in explosive run rate and missed tackles forced per attempt, and Miles Sanders, who's averaged 3.3 and 3.7 yards per carry the last 2 seasons, has shown zero explosiveness or elusiveness in either season. I don't care if coaches are saying that Miles Sanders looks explosive in camp while no one has pads on and it's late May or early June. The man had a 3.1% explosive play rate in 2023, 1.8% last season. Jaydon Blue is the best running backs on the Dallas Cowboys roster, and you can get him in the 13th round of redraft leagues, the early 12th round on Underdog. That is a slam dunk pick, in my opinion. It's someone that I am absolutely loading up on right now before that ADP changes, because I can promise you, if Tuten starts to be the 1A, if Blue starts to be the 1A in these offenses come late July, come August, their ADPs are skyrocketing. So if you want to load up on these guys before that happens, while also getting my Underdog, redraft, and in-season rankings for free this season, all you got to do is sign up for your first Underdog account today. Use promo code FFA. Join at least one draft. That is it. I'll email you a login the following morning. You're going to have access to my rankings all season long. And you're also going to be able to get these running backs before their ADPs go up. Next up, we've got our final rookie of the video, a name you should expect to see in this video, and that is Jarquez Hunter, composite ADP 253rd overall. That is obviously undrafted in all formats. I have him 186th overall. That is the mid 16th round. Hunter's just my go-to last round pick in drafts. He's someone who is certainly not a lock to produce this season, but who has elite contingent upside if things break his way. Hunter is absolutely a better running back than Blake Corum. He offers just a different style of play that the Rams can actually kind of use to mix and match throughout the game as a change of pace running back. Last season, I've talked about this before, but they drafted Corum as a clone. They're like, okay, we love Kyren so much, why don't we have 2 of them? What ends up happening is, no, you don't want that, because he's just worse in every way. When you actually go, okay, maybe they can alternate drives, why would you do that? Because Kyren's better, and when the game is close, you don't really want to be throwing someone in there for a drive when they're just worse at everything than Kyren. Kyren is still a better running back than Jarquez Hunter, but Hunter offers just a level of explosiveness that Kyren and Corum simply don't have. Again, Kyren is a great running back. McVay absolutely trusts him. He loves him, but he's also incredibly slow and has zero burst. And so there are just going to be some plays, some designs that Hunter is simply a better fit for. And that's going to get him onto the field more than Corum. And it's also going to make him incredibly efficient in this offense, being as explosive as he is. And then you have that upside. If anything were to happen to Kyren Williams, we know the upside that any running back has in this system if they are the 1A. And again, I'm very confident that Hunter is a better running back right now than Blake Corum is. And if he earns that 1A job, if Kyren gets injured and all you spent on him was your final round pick, that's going to have so much value added to your team. He will be someone that if Kyren goes down, he is a locked and loaded starter in your lineup. That's, again, a lot of upside in the 16th or 17th round. Fourth running back sleeper over today is Ray Davis, composite ADP of 136th overall. That is the mid-12th round. It is exactly where I have him ranked. So I don't think that Ray Davis is some super mispriced running back or anything, but I just think he is a really good pick for what you have to get up to get him. Just a rock solid pick in drafts. You always hear me talk about contingent upside. I talked about it with Jarquez Hunter. When you're looking at running backs in this range later on in the draft, you should always be thinking about that, right? I don't want some running back that's always going to be a scat back that it's well, they're drafted as a running back 50. They're probably going to finish as a running back 40. who cares? You're not starting the running back 40. The running back 40 isn't helping you at all. I'd rather draft someone at 50 who's either going to finish 20th or 80th. Like, I don't want someone who's probably going to finish 40th or 50th because they're never cracking my starting lineup. If that's happening, they're never helping me win anything. Last season, Ray Davis showed us he is capable of carrying the load. In the one game that he started, he had 152 yards on 23 touches. In the only other game he was used as like a starter for most of the game, that was week 18, started for about 3 quarters, 65 yards and a touchdown on 17 touches. Ty Johnson, Darrynton Evans, those are the other 2 backs he's competing with. It is pretty clear that Buffalo trusts Ray Davis as a direct backup to James Conner. Also, as for the contract situation, James Cook has no leverage. Like, there's no way James Cook is holding out this season for a better contract. The Bills know that, like, they can win without James Cook. James Cook knows that. There's no reason. There's no reason for him to hold out. I don't expect that to happen. I think they're going to pay him. I think he's just going to have to accept less than he wants because what he's asking for right now is a little bit absurd. So this is also not me saying, ooh, there's this holdout vibe, like, maybe James Cook doesn't play and you get Ray Davis starting early in the season. I don't think that's going to happen. So if that's the reason you're taking him, I would say hold off, don't do it. I'm taking him because I know that if James Cook gets injured, you have Ray Davis as maybe not a featured back, but one of the more featured backs in the NFL. They would trust him as effectively a featured running back on one of the highest scoring teams in the NFL, on one of the more run-heavy teams in the NFL. I mean, that is the exact style of player, the exact type of player you want to be drafting this late in drafts. Rock solid pick at his ADP. Final running back sleeper over today is Marshawn Lloyd, composite ADP of 178th overall, late 15th round. I'm a little bit ahead of that by my rankings. Last season was just a complete disaster for Marshawn Lloyd, but some of it was at least out of his control. So first he suffers the hamstring injury in early August. They say he's going to be fine. Then a report comes out that he's probably going to start the season on IR, and we're like, oh no, got to tank him in the rankings. Then that gets walked back. He only misses 1 game. And it's like, okay, now he can break out. 7 touches in week 2. We're like, wow, that was actually a lot of touches coming off an injury, not playing much in camp, having a good running back ahead of you. That's a really good sign. Suffers an ankle injury, placed on IR. So, okay, he's got to miss a little bit more time. Recovers from the ankle injury, gets back to limited practice, is set to return. Then he wakes up with appendicitis, which forces him back on the IR, ends his season. Now, some of that is on him. You've got a hamstring injury for a lot of camp into the season. You follow that up with an ankle injury. Like, you have to figure out a way to stay healthy as a running back in the NFL. But there's no way to prevent appendicitis besides having your appendix removed, which he has now done. So looking ahead to this season, he's for sure the second best running back on this roster. And again, like I said, it was pretty encouraging seeing him get 7 touches right when he's removed from injury, having not played much in camp. As a rookie, that's encouraging, seeing that they were willing to give him that many touches. And there were times last season where the backup running backs in Green Bay actually had a decent amount more touches than we were expecting. And then you have that upside of, well, okay, if Josh Jacobs misses any time, you've got the running back 1 on an incredible offense, a good rushing offense as well, a guy that's really explosive, has big playability, good in the receiving game. Because remember, my model loved Marshawn Lloyd last season. We probably had to walk it back a little bit, but the model was in love with him. It placed him in the same tier as Travion Henderson, RJ Harvey this season. If he were in this class, he would have been 3rd in yards created behind only Genty and Harvey, 3rd in forced missed tackles per attempt behind only Genty and Tuten. There is upside here. And he's another player that basically your last running back pick to get that level of upside. Phenomenal pick late in drafts. So those are 5 running back sleepers that I really like drafting right now. If you want to see where I have every single running back ranked, you can see that on my website, thefantasyfootballadvice.com. And again, if you want to grab these guys before their ADPs start to rise, head on over to Underdog. You can join drafts for as little as $3. It's a ton of fun drafting all summer long over there. And to make things even sweeter, we've got the deal going on. If you sign up for your first account using promo code FFA and enter into at least 1 draft, you will not only get a deposit bonus of up to $1,000, but you'll get my Underdog, Redraft, and in-season rankings for free this season. Best deal in the industry. Why not take advantage of that? So that'll do it for this one. Please leave a like if you made it this far. I'll see you all tomorrow where we'll talk about some polarizing quarterbacks.